onto the stage, MrZero. Please, welcome MrZero.
Thanks for having me, Paul. Good morning, New York. I'm back. Did you miss me? I've only been gone about 30 years. Took a little sabbatical. Where have I been?
Where have you been?
Where have I been?
Where have you been?
One time when I was abducted by aliens. Wait, that's later in the set. I used to work at this music store that I'm not going to name right now because I'm not going to give them a plug. This is my turn. We were working in the back room one day, and I'm back there and I'm applying my lip balm as I always do. And I used to work with this guy. I used to work with this guy that looked exactly like Martin Lawrence, except he never said anything funny. He always just looked like he was going to say something funny. So Mr. Martin walks up to me as I'm putting on my lip balm, and he says, "Hey man, where'd you get that lip balm?" And I go, "My pocket. Why?" And he says, "No, before that." And I go, "I'm going to take a stab in the dark Walgreens. Is there something I don't know here?" He says, "Is there some sort of shortage going on?" He says, "Well, no. See, when we were working over there by the shelves, I dropped mine, and I wondered if that was mine." And I says, "Wait a minute. Let me understand what your train of thought is here. I'm walking through the warehouse. My lips are chapped. If only I had some lip balm, and some comes rolling by my feet. It's my lucky day." So I pick it up and I put it on. What do you think, dude? I said, "What kind of people am I working with here?" So I left that place. I couldn't hang with that. So I went to the mall. And I worked at the mall for a while. You guys go to the mall? Mall of America? You been there? Yeah. It's a big place. So, but I had to get out of the mall because I couldn't have cell phone hawkers. You go through there, hey buddy, what plan you got? What plan you got? What plan you got? What plan you got? I say, I got a plan. I'm gonna get the hell away from you and go to the food court and have myself a $9 sandwich. No, I got the newest phone. I got the newest phone. You got the newest phone. Don't you want the newest phone? I said, no, I don't want the newest phone. I want the next one. He goes, the next one? I don't understand. He says, I said, I want the one they put out today to replace the one that they released yesterday. He goes, well, I can get you on the list. I said, no, don't get me on the list. I said, but there is an app that I'm looking for. And he says, yeah, what's that? And I said, I want an app on my cell phone that when I call somebody, they actually answer the phone. I'm tired of talking to voicemail. And he says, well, I don't know if they have that yet. And I said, but now that you mention that, there's a second app I'd like to have. And he says, well, what's that? And I said, well, once I got them on the phone and I'm talking to them, once they start lying to me, their head explodes. And I said, because I don't want to have to deal with that. But now picture this, folks. You're walking down the mall, right? You see this dude, he's talking on his cell phone, all of a sudden, boom! His head blows out. Hey, that guy must have been lying to MrZero. He won't be doing that anytime soon. So, I think I'm going to become a vegetarian. Not so much that I think we shouldn't eat animals, because I enjoy eating animals myself, but it is that I really hate vegetables. So, but no, I am an animal lover. I have birds and birds and dogs, and some friends of mine have cats. I know there's a guy over there that has some cats, and I don't get it because they're basically useless. And what's the thing? The thing is, you can never have just one or two like bird people or. Hey, come on, man, I don't go to Super America and kick over the candy rack when you're working. So, but I'm doing it tonight after tonight's set. Anyway, they gotta have like, I can't believe you made those.
Told you I
They
was.
gotta have like some absurd number of cats, like 6 or 9 or 11. What's the deal with that anyway? You know, cats don't really have any loyalty. They go to the best food source. Because they've only been domesticated about 8,000 years. That's a scientific fact. Google it. Look it up. Dogs, 15,000 years. That's almost double, folks. That's almost double. So, cats go to the best food source. For example, if you die, they will eat you. If your family or your neighbors don't find you, your cats are going to eat you. I imagine the conversation goes something like this. Number 6 says to number 11, hey, you know Doris? She fed us for a lot of years, but now that she's gone, I'm sure she'd be okay with eating her. Bon appetit, boys. So, Anybody from a big family? Big family out here? Brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
Yes?
Oh, yeah.
How many do you have?
6.
6. A friend of mine has 9. 9 brothers and sisters. Never mind his poor mother, God bless her. Pregnant every year of her life. She had to feed that army. My mother, she only had to deal with 4, me and my 3 sisters. And her solution was some variation of tomato juice, noodles, and hamburger. And some variation of lasagna, spaghetti, chili, goulash. Same old thing. But about once a month on payday, she pilots all into the VW Bug, and we go down to Wolco to pick up my dad from work, and we get to go to McDonald's. And that was very exciting as a kid because it wasn't made at home. So my mom would sit in the VW with my sisters and my dad, and they'd send me in armed with a $20 bill, and I'd walk up to the counter that came up to about my forehead. And I'd look up at the lady smiling at me with the pointy hat on it. They don't wear those hats anymore that I know of. So I says, I'd like 8 hamburgers and 6 French fries. And the woman starts laughing. And I'm a little kid and I'm thinking, what did I say that was funny? So it seems like an eternity passes and I say, did I say something funny? And she goes, are you going to eat all those yourself? I said, no lady, you're holding this up. I got my mom, my dad, and my 3 sisters in the Bug waiting for us to go. So, never failed, summer would roll around and it was my dad's turn. And don't get too excited. Wait till you hear this. He would grill. He thought that he was a gourmet cook, and he'd make hamburger patties and grill. And the size of the patty depended on the size of your mouth. You got about 2 bites. There was this big, and then you get about 4 times the size of bread to go with that. So it was more like the little teeny tiny burger inside of this 2 pieces of bread. And then to make it worse, I don't know where my dad learned how to cook, but years later I figured out it went something like this. He'd make the patties, he'd throw them on the grill, and he'd crack open a beer, and he'd have a beer. And when that one was done, he'd go over and flip them over and crack open another beer. And then when that one was done, it's time to eat. So there we are sitting in the kitchen. I can picture it now, white round table, yellow walls. Dad comes walking in with a plate. We're all excited because it's not goulash or chili or spaghetti. And he sets them down and I'm like, something's wrong with this picture. And I'm looking at it, there's these little charred black things sitting on the plate. And as a kid, I didn't think this one all the way through, and it says, Dad, you're supposed to leave the briquettes in the grill and bring the meat inside. So that only got me grounded for about a month. So the light rail, you guys ready for that light rail to be done? Yeah. I know a lot of small businesses waiting for that light rail to be done. And well, when I used to work at the mall, as I mentioned earlier, one time I had to take the bus, and I'm standing outside, and it's a brisk 13 degrees, you know, like it is every day in Minnesota for about 4 months. And I'm standing there waiting for this bus that never seems to come, and this guy next to me, he's shaking so hard his teeth are rattling. So I look over, and there he is standing there, and nothing but a hoodie sweatshirt, no gloves, no hat. He didn't even have the hood pulled up. And I said, hey buddy, how's it going? And he says, it's really cold. And I go, yeah, I know you don't have a hat or gloves or anything. And he goes, yeah. And I said, so? And he goes, well, I left him at the house. And I said, oh. I'm naturally curious, so I asked him, I said, what's the scoop? How cold is it in your house that you're going to leave your hat and gloves at home and go outside with just a hoodie? And he goes, yeah. And I said, well, how's that working for you? And he says, not too good. And I said, well, so what's the deal? And he goes, well, I'm afraid if I take him out of the house, I'm going to lose him. So yes, we cannot have enough public transportation as far as I'm concerned. That's my time, folks. I'd like to thank Paul for having me. Have a good night.